Right, and then I want you to kind of stop somewhere into the center. All right, hands onto the hips, and then just rock forward and back. I'm going to do a nice sort of chilled little mobility, and then some hand and wrist health before we even touch our weights today. Okay. Let me go forward and back. 2 more. 1 and then 2. Okay, now bring yourself into your B position, right hand onto the shoulder, and then circle around. That's it. 3 and 4. And let's change that the other way for 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay, and then circle round on the whole arm. 2, 3. I don't know what's happened to the music. And then the other side for 1, 2 and 3. Last time, and 4. Take that right foot out a little bit wider, and we're going to go into that rib isolation. So you're just going to come over side to side. That's it. Side to side. All right. And then from there, ripple forward and open back. And again, so you come forward and back. Now take the right arm over the top and then the left arm over the top. Okay, 2 more. And then I'm going to ask you just to do your flexion and extension of the spine, just as I sort the music out. So you're going to come down to your knees and into extension to flexion. I want you to keep just doing that a moment as I come out of full screen and just go into my music. Why it's come off, I don't know. Okay, all right, so right. No, we don't want that one. Right, keep going, ladies. Right. There, that one. Okay, there we go. Keep doing your cats to cows. There we go, full screen. All right. All right. So one more time. Extension and flexion. Okay, so one more. Coming through to extension. Now stay here and then just wag your tail, so side to side. 1, 2, that's it. 3 and 4. Then come into the middle, taking your right arm and lace it through and under, and then lift up to the top. And again, so lace it down and through, and lift away. Last time. So down we go, and lift up. Hand down onto the thigh, onto the knee, and then we're going to do the other side. 1, and lift up. And 2, and lift. Last time. Down we go, and lift. All right. From here, roll it up and through. Take that right leg out a little bit wider, and then just come into that rib isolation. Remember, it's from the ribs and the waist. Nothing else. And here, still, yeah. We haven't done this for a little while. I know we haven't done it 2 weeks. And then one more time. And then let's ripple forward. It's always bank holidays we've got, isn't it? There we go. And I got another one with this weekend. All right, take it over the top. Over the top. And over the top. Ripple again. So it's a 1 and 2. Over the top. And over the top. Lovely. Hands down, circle around. Bring your feet about hip distance apart. One more time. Okay. All right, so you're going to lift the right knee for 2. So it's 1 and 2. Other side. 1 and 2. And again. So this time I'm just going to bring my hand over to my knee. Yeah? Now, not much rotation. So I'm going to bring my elbow to knee. Yeah, so a little bit of rotation here. 2. One more time. So it's a 1 and 2. The other side. 1 and 2. Then do a hip extension right, hip, and then the other side. That's it, nice and gentle, no rush. That's it, push away. 2 more, 1 and 2. Go out to the side and out to the other side. So I'm just moving into abduction, a little bit of balance, and being mindful of every repetition that we do through as we progress through those exercises. Yeah? And again, up we go. Push away and away. Okay, let's go back to the knees for 2. 1, 2. Other side. 1, 2. Hip extension. And then abduction, but take both arms this time. So better on balance. Yeah, and again. So we go out for 1 and 2. Place the foot down and bring your hands, fingertips forward and through. So a nice little squat, so down into those heels. Now I've been doing a lot of teaching tips on the squats this week, all right? I'm going to show you from the side. So what a lot of people do is when they squat, they do this, yeah? And notice what's happening. Down I go, yeah? Now, squat together, break at the hips, back nice and flat. Keep the head, neck and shoulders up. You see the difference? And lift up. Yeah, and again. So break at the hips, push back, and then lift up. Yeah, and again. So down we go. Now as you lift up, you're going to rotate round to the right. Take the fingertips away, and then through. Then down into that little squat. Now so always think as you're squatting about keeping the head, neck and shoulders up. So rather than a close, up, lift, rotate. Okay, think about your squat before you go down. Squeezing the glutes, down we go. Push up through those heels and then rotate. Okay, open your arms and ripple. It's going to start to add these exercises together. Okay, and then right arm over the top and left arm over the top. Ladies, take your arms down to the side of you, right hand onto your shoulder, and then circle round for 4, 2, 3, and 4. Loosen it off. Lengthen the arm for 1, 2, 3. Last time, and 4. Take it on the other side. 1, 2. Getting the shoulders nice and warm when we use our weights in a little while. So supple strength and then round. That's it. 2, 3. I'm going to keep my side bends flowing. And I'm going to try it with a flow. So I'm going to come 1, 2, 3. So I flow right to left. Yeah, so go to my right. Now I'm going to take my right foot out a little bit wider and then rib isolation. So side to side. That's it. Side to side. 2 and 1. Okay. Then you're going to bring the back of the hands together and open back. And again, so float and open. Bring it in and over for 1 and 2. Then bring them forward again. So it's a ripple forward and open back. Great for the spine. And then over the top. Bring the right foot in towards the left, so it's hip distance. Give me 2 knee raises right. 1, 2. 2 knee raises left. 1, 2. Give me a hip extension. And then the other side. Hip extension again. Okay, and then abduction right to left. Out we go. So 2, 3, and 4. Take your hands together, a little tight, and then stretch those fingers in and stretch. I move it into wrist, hand health, yeah? In my side. So it's a little clasp, and then it's an open, yeah? In, open. All right, one more time. Now bring them in, and then just rotate. Little rotation. So we're only warming up the hands and the wrists, but we're also working with the shoulders as well. All right, then go around the other way. So start it, stop it, and then start it again. Step round, Okay, a little bit of a forearm stretch now. So take your hands away from you and then just press. So press your left hand into your right. So you've got your stretch there into your forearm and then over to the other side. And again, so in and squeeze, in and squeeze. Now, instead of doing it in front of you, the shoulders, do it at the top and take it over. You can see there, over we go. That's it. Over. And again, push and push. Okay, bring your hands down, make a little fist, yeah, and stretch those fingers. Because when we're going to pick up weights, or even without weights, we take our weight through our hands and wrists, don't we, when we go down to the floor. And it can be really uncomfortable because if your hands are cold and your wrists are cold, you'll get a much better workout with the mobility and the warmth into your hands, okay? All right, jazz hands. So squeeze, open as far as you can. Think of all that keyboard use. Now, talking about the keyboard, I want you just to play the piano, yeah? We're going to play the piano, wiggling those fingers very badly, yeah? Over the top. Wiggle those fingers, keep them wiggling, fingers and thumbs, yeah? Playing the piano very badly, and then in front of you. And doesn't it ache? Doesn't your fingers begin to ache as you do this? One more time. There we go. Okay, bringing it into a little clasp like this, and stretch your fingers out, yeah? It's so important, ladies. These tiny little exercises, just a couple of minutes a day can just make all the difference, especially if you do spend a lot of time on the computers in a day. In and open. All right, so from here, taking your arms down, just open them out into a lateral abduction. Okay, fingers, just try and relax them. And then just rotate round to your right and then around to your left. And again, so we're going to go round to the right side. Lovely, ladies. And then round to the left. All right, now take your hands down at the side of you. Now notice I'm going to take my thumb and my index finger. And I'm just going to turn my wrists. Yeah? Just turning, so my thumb and my index finger. Now I'm just moving it up. Yeah? And when I get to the top, I'm going to change it to my thumb and my middle finger, and then I'm going to come down. Yeah? I'm going to come all the way down. All the way down. Keep circling those wrists. Then I'm going to change it to my ring finger and my thumb, and I'm going to come back up. Yeah? Circling the wrists. Circling all the way to the top. All the way to the top, and then into your little finger, and then taking it down. That's it, all the way down. Keep it moving. Keep the wrist circling all the way around. All the way around. Okay. Take your hands up, breathe in, and breathe out. And again, coming up, breathing in, and breathe out. Ladies, chin to chest, and roll it down. Right, so just roll down just towards your feet. Right, and then inhale, exhale, and then bring it back up. There we go. Vertebrae by vertebrae, shoulders back and down. Circle around on the right and circle around on the left. One more time. So we're going to roll down. Again, don't rush it down and don't rush it up. Bending the knees at the bottom. And then slowly, slowly, bringing it up. Up we go. Okay. And shoulders back and down. This time circle around both arms for 2. And 2. Okay, I'm going to come down onto the floor to come back up to standing. Still staying on our wrist health, okay? I'm just going to bring my camera down slightly. All right, just slightly. So, I'm going to come down and then back up. So if you need your mat out, you need to spread it out now, then do so. If you're short of space like me, I've got a carpet, so I don't need a mat at this moment. But I'm going to come down, do some wrist, and then we're going to come back up and do some weights. All right, so down we go. So keeping our wrist, supple strength. So our wrist nice and strong. All right, so taking your heels back into the ground. All right, so a little heel push. Keeping those heels grounded. Now, Bring your knees down onto the floor. Okay, now back a little bit. Yeah, there. All right. Now my hands are down onto the ground. All right. I'm going to take us into a cat to cow, so a flexion extension of the spine, but using our wrists, so coming off our wrists as well. So walk down 1 and 2. All right. So now off my hands and wrists. Okay. My elbows are in line with my shoulders. All right. So from there, I'm going to scoop it up into my flexion. All right. And then I'm going to come away into an extension. All right, and again, so up I come into a flexion, and then away into an extension. So I'm going to change. So keep my hands down. So keep your hands down onto the ground, just in front of you. All right. Now as I come up, I come into a little cat stretch. Yeah. Now my hands are not under my shoulders. Yeah, there we go. Into a little cat stretch. And then as I come into a cow, notice I'm going to come down into the ground. So I'm taking my weight away from my hands and I'm lengthening my spine. Okay, up we go. Into your cat, lifting up to the top, yes, chin to chest. As I come into my cow, I'm going to keep my elbows, I'm going to change straight on actually. So as I come into my cow, I come down and notice my elbows, I'm pushing them together, right? So they're not out here. I don't want them here. I want to work the triceps as well. So into your cat, up and up. Yeah, so there's more wrist health for you. And then as you come into your cow, bringing that down. Okay, then let's go back to my position. Okay, so there we are. Now I'm going to walk up. And I'm going to walk up. Right, so my hands now, I'm going to spread my fingers out. And now my hands will come back to under my shoulders. And I'm just going to move my weight forward and back. All right, just forward and back. All right, lovely. Over we go. And back, yeah? So just giving your wrists a little bit of pressure and back. One more time. Okay, I'm going to change this. Take your fingertips out to the side. All right, to the side. And then just move your weight side to side. That's it, out to the side. So you know how much pressure to put through. And one side being stronger than the other. And it's so common, ladies, for people to not want to come onto their hands and wrists. If we don't do any of it, if you keep away from it, you're just going to end up, as we get older, just weaker and weaker. So we've got to maintain and also improve what we have. These tiny little exercises make all the difference, okay? Taking your fingers back to where they were, tuck your toes underneath you, and then push your weight up. So your hips up to the ceiling, heels down into the ground, into your pike position, and then you're going to walk your feet just towards your hands, and then slide your hands away and roll up. Again, vertebrae by vertebrae, and taking your shoulders back and down. Okay, taking your hands together, and let's just stretch them out before we pick up the weights. Yeah, so just pushing into the palm, and then the other side. 2 more. 1 and 2. Lovely. Just shake the hands out, shaking the fingers, and all the way to the top. Shake, 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 and then bringing them down in front of you. Okay, now, so this shake, let's go up, breathe in, and then bring them around the outside. It's like a windmill into a little shake. Again, up we go. Breathe in, and then a little shake as we come out. Well done, ladies. Okay, now, our hands and our wrists and our shoulders are nice and warm. So now we can pick up our weights. All right, so let's start today with 2 weights. Let's start with 2 weights. Okay, so let's begin by just standing up nice and tall. It's nice and tall. Hip bone to hip bone, abdominals nice and strong. And I'm going to go for an easier exercise to begin with, all right? So we're going to go into a standing bent over row. So I'm going to show you from the side. So we're going to bring the weights just in front of us, yeah? So the weights are in towards the thighs. Now, this isn't a roll down. I'm going to break at the hips. Notice, there we go. Notice this, break, back. That's it. So that's the position. No roll-ups, no extensions, yeah? No forward flexions. Here we are. So broken from the hips. From there, I'm just going to do one at a time to begin with. So I'm going to bring the weight up and lower, yeah? Up and lower. So I'm just driving up with the elbow and lower. So I've noticed I've not changed my back position, yeah? That's it. Maintaining this perfect posture, okay? 4 on the right. 1 and 2. That's it. 3. Notice nothing's changed, even when we get tired. And then 4 on the other side. So lift and lower. Lift up and lower. 2 more. Notice keeping your back nice and flat. Okay, let's do 4 together. So lift up. So think about retracting the shoulder blades. So pull back and lower. And again, lift and lower. One more time. I'm going to come up and break at the hips. Yeah, so I'm going to come from here and break at the hips. Now I come into a standing position. I'm going to go into a deadlift, right? So again, break at the hips, coming down and push down towards the floor. Now notice the back is still flat, bringing it up. So I think about a hinge in, right? Just like push the hips back, drop the weights down towards the floor. And where are we feeling this, ladies? We're feeling it into the back of the thighs, yeah? So you've got it into your hamstrings. So if we've been sitting down too much over the last 2 weeks since I last saw you, then these hamstrings can get really short. And you know if they've got short, you'll feel it immediately, the stretch. You might feel the stretch there, or you might have to come a little bit lower to feel it. And again, now as you lift up, ladies, something else I want you to think about. Hip bone to hip bone, draw those abdominals in nice and strong and lift up, yeah? 2 more. So think about putting all this together. Breaking at the hips, arms long, inhale, exhale, hip bone to hip bone, abdominals strong. 1 more time, down we go. Hold it there, inhale, exhale, and reach it up. Okay, let's put 4 and 4, all right? So back to break at the hips, hold it there, and give me 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now you're going to come back from the hips, break it up to standing, and you're going to do 4 deadlifts. So come down, flat back, and lift it up, yeah? And again, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And again, 1, 2, 3, and 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Lovely. So come around the shoulders. And 2. Okay, so we're going to go into a hammer curl. So we're going to bring the weights up to the shoulders and lower. So notice now the palms are facing inwards and I'm lifting and lowering. And I'm not changing my position and I'm not moving here, yeah? And that would just go to show, if we're doing this, the weights are just far too heavy. And I know none of us have got really heavy weights, so much better just to have even a kilo lighter and get your positioning correct, yeah? And again, so in, elbows in, up to the shoulders. Now I'm going to change this into a hammer shoulder press. So watch this. I'm going to come up, leaving the weights where they are into that hammer position. I'm going to lift to the top, back into the shoulders and lower. Yeah. So in, keep the hands in, facing towards one another. Up to the top, back into the shoulders and lower. Yeah. And again, so we come up into the shoulders, we lift to the top, we come back into the shoulders and lower. Yeah. And again, so it's 1, 2. Keep facing forward, knees in line, track, 2 squats. Down for 1 and down for 2. Here we go. So we do 1, 2, 3, and 4. 2 squats. Down for 1 and down for 2. Give it 2 more. So it's up for 1. So I'm combining a hammer press, a hammer bicep curl, and a suitcase squat. 3 exercises all taken together. They're making it much more interesting and keeping you on long repetitions on each exercise. 2 squats. Down for 1 and down for 2. Bring the weights around so they're now facing in. Give me an upright row. Now we did a row earlier and we were doing a bent over row. Yeah, so this is now called upright row. So you're bringing the weight up towards your chest. 4 on the other side. 1. Got a nice little bit of abduction through that deltoid, through the shoulder. 3. That's it. And 4. Now we go up together. So I'm just trying to keep things really simple, ladies, today, that you've got 4s. Right? We're working in our 4 repetitions of each. Okay. All right. Bringing the weights back at the side of you, shoulders back and down, retract the shoulder blades. On the right side, give me a hammer front raise. So I come up and lower, yeah? Squeeze up and lower. You'll notice as I'm coming up, just to shoulder height and down. And again. And then the other side. For 4 of each, for 1 and 2. Just accumulating our exercises and always staying in 4s. Okay. So just to that point, they're both together. You get to that point where you get to the 4th repetition where you really feel it. 3 and 4. Okay. Then I'm going to take the weights up above my head and I'm going to drop them down. Alright, so I'm dropping them down just behind my head and I'm lifting up. Now notice what's happening. You don't need to see the weights really. Notice what's happening to my elbows and my upper part of my arms. Yeah. Notice they're not moving. Yeah. So they stay right close to my head. Right. So think about the closeness. And if you find that you're struggling with 2 weights, much better to take 1 weight away. Do it with 1. So take both hands on 1 weight and then keeping those arms nice and close. We're going to do 1 more. Down we go. I know we did more than 4 of that because I was talking. And then bringing it in and down. Suitcase squat. So I'm going to come down for 1. And then I'm going to take up my leg wide, my right, and I'm going to come down 2. I'm going to bring it back in to hip distance and I'm going to come down 3. I'm going to take it out to the side on the left, out, down into a suitcase squat, bring it in and finish here. All right. And again, so we go out, drop down, in, drop down, out. So you end up doing 4 repetitions. Down, lift it up, drop down. Lovely. Okay, ladies, round we go with those shoulders. Okay, the last exercise, taking your arms up into my favorite exercise, shoulder press. So taking your arms into that sort of squarish position. All right, so I'm going to do 4 on my right. Okay, so I'm lifting and lowering. That's it, lift and lower, and lift and lower. Let's do 4 on the other side. So that's 1, that's 2, and 3, and 4. Now let's do 4 together. Notice as I come down, notice I'm not bringing my elbows any lower than my shoulders. 2, 3. That's it, ladies. Drive it up. Supple strength. Here we go. Hold it there. 8, 6, 4, 2, and 1, and release. And then take those shoulders around. Okay, ladies, let's come down onto our mats. So I'm just going to bend my knees, place my weights down onto the floor, and then I'm going to open my mat. All right, ladies, we've got about 10 minutes left. Now, I'm going to show you something with our hands and our wrists when we're down on the mat this time. Just to show you, if you don't like being on the heel of your hands so flat, how we can change something, right? So, let us go. Right. Okay, shoulders back and down, and then we roll down, chin to chest, and then roll down. Now let's just do our calf stretch to begin with, right? So calf stretch, just push down into those heels. Push down. Okay. Then I'm going to drop to the knees. Now, I'm going to bring my mat, I'm going to roll it up. Yeah? Roll up the end of it. Right? I'm going to roll it up. Now this mat is quite thin, so I need to roll it in quite a bit, whereas the mat I take to my class is quite thick, so it needs 1 roll. And notice already, your hands, when you've rolled up, not so flat, much more comfortable. And then tuck your toes under, and then coming into your pike position. Now you may find it's a lot more comfortable under your hands, just by them being risen just a little bit. Then just drop down onto your knees, keeping away from our hands and our wrists, coming down onto your forearms, and then just come forward, yeah? So you're coming into a plank position. Right, so this is a nice position for those of you who don't like being on your hands and wrists. Some of you also don't like being on your knees, so you just tuck your toes under and then coming into that plank position. And again, thinking hip bone to hip bone, nice and strong. And you can always come down onto the knees if you want to, right? Or stay here. Just whatever position you're in, just drop the hips side to side. That's it. Down we go. Down we go. 1 more. And lovely. Come on to your knees now. And let's walk back. Child's pose. Stretching out those fingers wide as you can as we come into that child's pose. Okay. All right, now, ladies, come on to your bottom. All right, so come through to your bottom. And then bringing it forward. Now, I've got enough room to come back, so I'm going to roll back. Yeah? So roll back. Okay. Then bring your feet in and just lift your arms above your head. Okay. Then I'm going to bring the arms over, and as I do, I'm going to come up into a little sit up. Yeah. Bringing it up. Bringing the abdominals down, and then taking it back. Okay. And again, inhale, exhale. Bringing it up and over, and then taking it back. And again, up and over. Inhale, exhale. I'm going to do 1 more, but I'm going to kind of adjust something on the way back. So this is the start of something, okay? I'm going to come up and over. Okay, then as I come back, I'm going to place my hands just on my head, right, just behind my head. And then I'm going to bring my legs into a tabletop. Okay, I'm going to leave my left hand on my head. Okay, left hand on my head. And then I'm going to take my right hand on the inside of my right knee, right, just here, just there. And I'm going to press. So I'm going to push the knee away, but I'm resisting against my hand, right? Then so I'm engaging the inner thigh muscle, but also I'm locking onto those deeper core muscles, yeah? So like just press in and back, yeah? And again, press and back, yeah? And again, so you've got your head supported in your hand, you've got your hand just on the inside of the knee, pressing it away, resisting away. Okay, one more time. Last one. Okay, and down we go. Okay, so staying on the inner thigh work, just bring your heels together and your toes apart. Bring your heels down towards the floor and then bring them back into like a tabletop position. All right, so bring your heels, so just squeeze your heels together and then you get your inner thigh stretch as well, yeah? So you can really feel that working. Now to make this a little bit more difficult, ladies, we could take the legs away and then bring them in, yeah? Taking them away and in. That's it, lovely. Press away and bringing it back. One more time, up and away and bring that in. Lovely. Bring your knees into your chest and we're going to reset. We're going to do that onto the other side. So, head, neck and shoulders away from the mat. Taking your hand onto your head. Now hold it into your head. Then take your left hand on the inside of your knee and extend the right leg away. So I'm pressing here and in, yeah? So single leg stretch. That's it. Push away and in. You've got 4 more. 1, and there's something else I was going to do with this exercise, but I haven't got enough room to open out the legs, so I can't really show you. Anyway, not to worry, we've done enough today. And then 1 more time. That's it. All right, now this time I'm going to bring that leg into tabletop. I'm going to take my head, neck and shoulders down onto the floor and I'm going to knee roll over. Right, so over to the right and then over to the left. And again, up and over to your right side and then up and over to your left side. Okay, and then slowly, we're going to tap down on the right and then bring that in. Lovely. So nice and slow and controlled. Yeah. So no rocking through the pelvis. Keeping everything still and quiet. And then both feet if you want to. So you tap down very gently and then back up. And again, keeping this in 4s. 2 and then 3 and then last one and then 4. Okay, put your knees in and just relax. Roll it off side to side. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, we're going to roll up into the seated position. Inhale, exhale, rolling it up, and then just coming into that little half a roll back. And again, little half a roll back. And 2 more. 1. Last time. And then 2. Now you just bring it over onto all fours. Alright, so from there, coming into your cow position, into your extension, and then up into your flexion. Now remember, you always come down onto those forearms again if you don't want to be on your hands. You're here for a very short amount of time. Okay, tucking your toes under, lifting to the top. Okay, and then heels are down, and then walking in towards your feet, and then we're going to roll it up. Rolling it back to the top. Where am I? Here we are. Take your right arm across the body and just stretch out that shoulder. Pressing it in towards your chest. Lift up, drop down, take it around, hold on to the elbow, and then coming over to your side. So you've got your tricep. Also, you've got a side stretch also into the waist as well. And there we go. We'll try it the other side. So across we go. So hopefully this has set you up for your weekend, whatever your plans are this weekend. I don't think we've got a drop of rain, have we? There we go. We'll be busy in the gardens, watering, then hands over, putting the water bills